This is usually the time on our program when we turn to Neil Melancon at the Bottom Line desk, but this week we find Neil over in West Baton Rouge. And Neil, from the looks of things, you look like you're kind of alone out there. What's going on with this week's Bottom Line?
Well, Mike, it may look like complete and utter devastation out here, but as I've learned, fields like this one are key to helping Louisiana forests be sustainable for the future. This is only a small part of A. Wilbert Sons' 100,000 acres of timberland in South Louisiana, and it's being managed to stay in trees in perpetuity. A. Wilbert Sons has been in the timber business for more than 150 years, and timber is just one of the many businesses they've had under their wings. But timber has always been their passion ever since they first started logging cypress for cabinet making. However, they also have wanted to keep their land growing, providing further logging, hunting, and other efforts sustainably.
This is a typical stand that we deal with down in this part of the world.
That's part of the reason they hired Vic Blanchard, land and timber manager for the company, who divided up the land into management areas that only harvest 500 to 600 acres of timber each year.
We go in a given year and harvest that amount of area, but rather than doing it on just one big 800-acre block, we divide those blocks into a checkerboard fashion and treat each of those stands individually.
How they harvest the timber is key. With over 120 hunting clubs using the Wilbert lands, it's critical that there be a sustainable wildlife population to support them.
We try to keep some pretty high deer densities and keep some quality habitat, thereby translating into some quality animals.
And the results speak for themselves. This stand of trees is 6 to 7 years old and provides both cover and readily available food for the deer populations, which Blanchard says helps sustain them in perpetuity as well. And next week, Mike, will be back out here to show you how well the white-tailed deer have fared using these management techniques, as well as some of the techniques used to replant this land.
Thanks, Neil, and we'll certainly look forward to part 2 of your series next week. And if you'd like to hear more from Neil, you can listen to his daily radio reports on the Louisiana Farm Bureau radio network for a list of stations, or to listen to Neil's reports online, you can click on over to our website, twilatv.org, and look for the link called LFB Radio Network on the left side of the homepage. That does it for this edition of This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. Join us again next week when we'll show you how farmers are able to make money from the water they collect in their farm ponds, and what they're doing is protecting the groundwater that many of us depend on. Until then, you can watch any of our stories online. Just visit our website. You know the address, twilatv.org. For all of us here at This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Michael Dana. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope to see you again right here next week.